Noreen and welcome to my kitchen. And this morning Rick and I went to the grocery store. We went to Harris Teeter, that's my favorite upscale grocery store in my area. And it was a plethora of markdown values today. What do you do when you find markdown cube steak, markdown green peppers in a giant bag, and this is how gorgeous these peppers are. Markdown mushrooms, and we had markdown bread too, but so I thought, what am I going to throw together for dinner? And this is the answer. We're going to make easy weeknight crock pot pepper steak, and this is how we're going to do it. I have about 8 pieces. This is 2 packages of cube steak. Yes, it's a lot of meat, but this is going to feed us for 2 meals. I have 4 of these beautiful bell peppers that I have cored and sliced. I have 1 very large Vidalia onion, and I have 1 entire head of my homegrown garlic. It was a little bitty baby head, and I want to use that up. We're also going to throw in these 2 trays of exotic sliced blended mushrooms, and these were $1 a package on the clearance rack. So yeah, we're going to toss those in too.
And not a thing wrong with them.
Not a thing. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to clear a little bit of stuff out of the way so I can have some room. And we're going to build our sauce in the bottom of the pan. That's the first thing we're going to do. And I'll go over the ingredients with you as I go. And then you can always reference these ingredients on my website, where I will have a printable recipe for you over there. What I have here is 2 cups of water that I have dissolved 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon powder into. And that's just my favorite brand. You use whatever you like. If you like a beef base, go ahead and use that instead. It's all good. It works just the same. And I'm trying to find me a spatula. I'm going to use a half a cup of ketchup. This is going to be like a Swiss steak. My mom used to make a pepper steak that she slow cooked on the stovetop. And it was delicious, but I don't want to work that hard today. We're back into the swing of Molly being back in school, so we are being taxi service every morning. We have to drive to take her, and we have to go pick her up. I'm adding about a half a cup of water just so I can rinse this bottle of ketchup out. So it's about a half a cup of ketchup, but it's the end of your bottle.
You paid for it.
Yeah, you should rinse it out and use it. You paid for it. That's absolutely right. I'm just going to blend this together in the bottom of the pan. Crock, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to grab my whisk, because that's going to help me facilitate that even better. Also have, this is a quart of some spaghetti sauce that I made last week with all the vegetables out of my garden. And it's a little bit under a quart. I'm going to throw that. Wow. Smells fantastic. This is going to help us get a nice tomatoey base along with the ketchup, which is cooked with lots and lots of different spices. We're going to also add a teaspoon each onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and dried marjoram. In it goes. And because I don't think the ketchup is going to add enough sweetness to my pepper steak, and I like my pepper steak to be a little bit sweeter, I'm going to use a half a cup of my homemade brown sugar. I will link all of these video recipes. I have a video for the brown sugar, I have a video for the spaghetti sauce, and I also have a video where I did a really traditional slow-cooked Swiss steak that involves dredging and pan-searing the meat beforehand. But we're not going to do that today because I want to get on with it and I want to get business going. So, I'm going to stick this over here in the crock, and then I'm going to tend to the meat. What I have here in my bag is about a cup and a half of all-purpose flour and a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Really simple. And I'm just going to go ahead and toss these. We're not going to brown them. I'm going to toss them in the flour, and I'm going to toss them in the crock pot. Simple. That flour can either go in the garbage or it can be put in the freezer and you can use it again the next time you're going to dredge beef. You can't dredge anything else in there. Okay, I'm going to bring this back over here just so I can show it to you. I'm going to grab another wooden spoon. I'm just going to go ahead and distribute these pieces of meat down there. And then we're going to start to add our veg. Our mushrooms are going to go right in there. Give that a zhuzh. This is going to flavor the meat and the sauce. It's going to be fantastic when we sit down later today. When Molly comes home from school in the afternoon, she is famished and she doesn't want to wait to eat a late dinner. She wants to eat dinner now. So the crock pot is my saving grace in this particular situation. Let's break up our onion in here.
Don't know what your parents call it.
What do my parents call it? Oh, Iron Chef. Because my mom gets the crock pot ready in the morning before she goes to work. And then she calls my dad at lunchtime and tells him to turn on the crock pot. So he calls himself the Iron Chef. I'm going to give this a zhuzh again. Get these veggies down in there with the meat. And Scotty,
he smells something.
He smells the meat. He always does this when we make a video. And you don't have to, like, kill it, but get it down.
It's all going to cook down anyway.
It's all going to cook down anyway. And these vegetables are going to render their liquid. And, oh, it's heavy. We're going to put it over here. I'm going to wipe off the rim. I'm going to set it on high. Pop on the lid, and I'm going to figure out something else to take care of with the rest of my day. We're going to cook this for at least 1 hour on high. I'm going to turn it down to low, and then it's going to cook until probably 6 or 6:30, and it is 11:15 now. And when we come back, we will serve. We're going to fix you a nice dish of easy weeknight crock pot pepper steak. So we'll be back. Our crock pot pepper steak has been cooking all day, and it is now about 6:30. We start about 11:15. I had it on set on high for about 2 hours, and then I set it to low for another 3 hours, and then I put it on warm because it was completely done. And I've cooked some egg noodles and some cream spinach, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix you a plate. And I tell you, a few of us snuck a taste. I think maybe we all snuck a taste. So I'm going to just some of this up here. And the peppers and the onions have pretty much disintegrated into that sauce. But you can still dig a few out of there. And the mushrooms, there's all sorts of mushrooms in here. There's button mushrooms, white mushrooms, enoki mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. And they look fantastic. So I don't know about you, but I think that looks like a fantastic dinner. I'm going to put a little bit more right there. So that's a really easy weeknight supper. You can put that on in the morning before you leave for work. And if you have one of those programmable crock pots, you can set it to turn on and set it to turn to warm at a certain time. That way, by the time you get home, all you have to do is make a salad or a side vegetable and whatever starch you're going to have. This is also lovely on mashed potatoes. You could do it over rice. You can do it by itself. Whatever you want. It will also be great with couscous or quinoa or, like I said, any other kind of starch that you could ever think of. So, easy weeknight crock pot pepper steak. I hope that you give this a try, and I hope that you love it. I will post the recipe over on my website where you can go and get a printable version, and that's www.noreenskitchen.com. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the video. Also, if this is your first visit here, or if you've been lurking around and haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I ask you pretty please, will you subscribe to my channel? And that way you won't miss a minute of fun that we have here in my kitchen. I thank you so much for stopping by this afternoon and helping me and watching me cook this lovely crock pot pepper steak. And until next time, I'll see ya.